Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another Predator matchup. We haven't really talked about Predator for a little bit. It's been, what, like a month since the last Predator-related video? Yeah, it has been. But today, my silly little friends, we are putting the upgraded Predator from The Predator, the shitty movie, and we are putting him up against Delta Squad from Star Wars, Republic Commando, the video game. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it, shall we? So first up, we are talking about the upgraded Predator, or better known as the Autism Predator. Your average Yautja is already, like, really strong and very durable, but the upgraded Predator is like that, but times 10. Now, for those of you who may not have watched some of my previous videos featuring the Predator, how strong is the average Yautja, you might be asking? Well, obviously, Yautja can ragdoll humans and xenomorphs. Yautja can rip through tank armor. They can throw heads so hard that they flip jeeps. They can lift dead grizzly bears, which, like, you know, your average grizzly bear can be somewhere up to like 600 to 1,000 pounds. Keep in mind, Feral did this pretty effortlessly, if I do say so. So yeah, obviously your average Yautja is pretty strong. And you know what? This guy, he humiliates your average Yautja. I'm not even gonna lie. In the movie The Predator, we see the upgraded Predator fight the fugitive Predator, who is an average Yautja. He slashes an upgrade with his wrist blade, and the wrist blade just, like, shatters on impact with his skin. That wrist blade should be, like, a lot harder than basically any metal found on Earth. It's like, you know, crazy space metal. So the fact that that even happened so easily is mad impressive. And then, even better, this dude, he ragdolls the fugitive Predator and then punches him in the face one time and kills him and tears his head off. One time. He punches him one time and that kills him. Now, for reference, for some durability feats, Yautja can withstand multiple bullets. We've seen Yautja taking assault rifle fire, which, of course, to be fair, did bounce off of the armor and not the skin, but if we are talking about the actual fleshy skin part of the Yautja, we have the City Hunter being blasted like 12 times in the chest with a shotgun. The Feral Predator gets shot in the back of the head with the flintlock pistol. Mr. Black, the Berserker, gets shot with a sniper. A Yautja named Devil takes a bazooka with little injury. This Yautja survived chopper missiles, 3 of them to be exact, with no visible injury. In other words, to put it nice and simply, Yautja are pretty effing durable too. So all of this is pretty impressive. But what about the upgraded Predator's durability, right? Like how much can he take? How much damage can he endure? Well, he can take small arms fire and assault rifle fire. And he doesn't just take them, he like tanks them. And the reason why he tanks them is because he has a retractable exoskeleton. Basically, his skin can go from bulletproof to not bulletproof. He can just turn it on and off as he pleases. He even gets set on fire. He gets blasted with a plasma caster shot. Now, what have plasma casters done in the past? Oh, okay. They've blown holes through chests. They've blown arms off. Plasma casters have blown through the hulls of starships. And in the exact same movie, The Predator, the same plasma caster that he gets shot with blows up a house. He does get sent flying by this attack, but like, clearly he's fine. He's fine enough to get up and continue working and fighting after that. So obviously, Delta Squad is gonna have their work cut out for them. The one thing the upgraded Predator is seemingly lacking in is intelligence and skill. He is very big, very strong. He's like intelligent enough and cunning enough to be deadly, but he isn't uber intelligent and uber skilled, at least not skilled in the same way somebody like Wolf is. Upgraded Predator kind of relies on his immense strength and durability. And to be fair, he has every single reason to rely on that. Now, the one flaw in his durability, of course, is that over time, if he's beaten and battered by enough firepower and if he takes enough damage, that exoskeleton of his that makes him so invulnerable does wither away. It does get taken down. Because by the end of the movie, he is able to be shot and killed by just a straight up pistol. So if Delta Squad damages him enough, if they beat his ass enough, then obviously they could get him to a point where they can kill him. Speaking of Delta Squad, let's talk a little bit about them. The Galactic Republic's clone army had many specialized branches and many specialized units that were fit for different occasions. One of these units were the Clone Commando. And one squad of these Clone Commandos is Delta Squad, which is the boys we're talking about today. Delta Squad was a very elite commando squad that completed extremely challenging and demanding missions for the Republic. The members included are Boss, Fixer, Sev, and Scorch. Boss was the team's leader, Fixer was the team's second-in-command, and Slicer, that being a technology expert. Scorch was the demolitions expert, and Sev was the team's sniper. Each member of Delta Squad is equipped with the DC-17M interchangeable weapon. This weapon has one base that can be, swapped around and changed to turn into basically any weapon needed for any situation. So, you can use it as a rifle, or a sniper, or a grenade launcher. Doesn't matter! You can turn it into whatever you want! They'll also be equipped with the DC-15S sidearm. The clones as a whole on Kamino were trained from birth. I mean, it's like their whole purpose was being birthed and created to go fight in a war. The Clone Commandos, though, received some special training. Clone Commandos would participate in a lot of live fire exercises to give them the feel of a real combat scenario. They went through a brutal training program that was led by Mandalorian mercenaries hired by Jango Fett himself. Clone Commandos had very deep bonds with one another. They trained together since the very beginning, making them a very, very effective and elite fighting force when working together as a team. While ARC Troopers specialized in individual combat, the Clone Commandos specialized as a team. When a group of Clone Commandos are fighting through droid-infested halls, they are always at their best when they are together. The Clone Commandos do have some impressive armor, though. Clone Commando Kataran class armor allows the wearer to take multiple blaster shots, those blaster shots only feeling like a punch to the gut. Their armor is also equipped with built-in deflector shields, and to top it all off, they've got a neat little vibroblade inside their glove. How about we talk about a possible verdict and set the scene? For this verdict, we are going to say that we are looking at, the events of Republic Commando, the game. But instead of everything playing out as normal, we are going to say that, the upgraded Predator shows up, and he thinks that Scorch is autistic. Therefore, he wants his autism to upgrade himself with. So how is this going to play out? How are they going to contest with each other? There are some things I did leave out. I'm not going to lie to you about the clones. First and foremost, I do not think that the Commandos would actually be able to see the upgraded Predator in his, his cloaking. Clone Commandos can see in infrared if they choose, but I really don't think it's going to work, because the Yautja do have systems in place to, combat being detected with infrared or with radar, stuff like that. So Upgrade will absolutely see them before they see him. But I am so deathly afraid that something you simply cannot ignore is the fact that clones are superhuman. Now, yeah, I know. Just before you lose your minds and call me a glazer, I need you to just hear me out. The clone army of the Galactic Republic. We know them. We love them, and we know for a fact that they are just normal-ass dudes, right? I mean, they're maybe athlete level, right? Right? No, they aren't, actually. They are superhuman. I'm tired of pretending they aren't, okay? Okay, they are superhuman. And let me show you, okay? First and foremost, Clone Commando Darman has deceptive physical strength, according to a Jedi Padawan. This is a Padawan in her 20s, by the way, like her late teens or 20s, something like that, okay? She's not like a child Padawan. Like, for example, Obi-Wan Kenobi in The Phantom Menace, he was a Padawan. You guys know that, right? Yeah, he was. Yeah. Did you know that that Jedi Padawan was humiliated, basically, by a clone commando? I didn't know that. Wow, that's interesting. Did you know that Magna Guards have light speed reflexes? I didn't know that either. And did you know that Delta Squad fights and kills multiple Magna Guards? That's interesting, isn't it? I mean, I don't know. Here you've got that same clone commando from earlier, basically picking up that same Jedi Padawan with one hand. You've got clone commandos being able to run about 22 miles per hour with heavy military gear. And then, okay, well, Zilla, maybe clone commandos are different physically. Maybe they're stronger and faster and have, you know, quicker reflexes. Okay, that's fair. That's debatable, but fair, fine, okay, let's go with that. Let's forget about clone commando feats and only focus on normal clone troopers. Fine, sure. Good thing we have plenty for that too. Captain Rex smacks a B-1 battle droid so hard that its head spins around for a few seconds. This clone trooper rips the head straight off of a B-1. This clone trooper rips the head off of a tactical droid. Captain Rex snaps a commando droid's neck and smashes its face into the floor. And I feel like I know what some of you are going to say. I have heard an argument before, a very bad argument, that actually all these things can be done by normal dudes because the battle droids were built like cheaply, and because, oh, with machines, like, you know, you gotta like twist and move the joints or whatever and the mechanisms in a certain way, so it should be easy to snap their pieces or, you know, rip off limbs and stuff on a machine. No? What? Do you think battle droids are made of paper? These are machines built for combat. They are built for war. Sure, are battle droids built, like, relatively cheaply? Of course, yeah, they were built to be plentiful. But there is no such thing as a battle droid being cheap enough for some random Joe to just walk up and, like, rip its head clean off with little struggle at all. At the end of the day, it is still a metal robot. Like, I cannot fathom how people think this is actually a good argument. And then the part where people say, oh, well, you have to twist and, you know, move the joints in a certain way. Okay, yeah. Snapping somebody's neck takes a specific, like, motion and way of doing it, but it's still hard. It's still, like, a struggle to snap somebody's neck. It isn't easy to do that. It still takes a specific amount of force to do so. But even if you want to say Rex snapping the commando droid's neck instantly wasn't impressive, him smashing its face into the floor was pretty damn impressive. But this isn't good enough for you. Okay, alright, okay, fine. Yeah, sure, whatever, man, okay. Here you got Captain Rex throwing an electro staff through the fat-ass chest of a fat-ass Zygerian, and then through the chair that the Zygerian is sitting on. What the hell? Keep in mind, that electro staff had a dull tip. It wasn't sharp, it had a dull tip, and he threw it through the guy's body and through the chair. No normal dude is doing that shit. That is insane. Okay, that still isn't good enough for you. Fine, okay, whatever, sure. What about this right here? Commander Cody and two of his clones restrain General Grievous. And that doesn't sound too crazy, right? I mean, like, okay, sure. Grievous is really strong, right? So it's a little impressive that they're able to hold him back. But no, I want you to pay very close attention to what is happening here, okay? Of course, you've got Grievous running down this hallway, right? And then this clone here shoots his grapple at Grievous so we can try and pull him back. Cool, okay, great, wonderful. So, that one clone that fired that grapple, he was the only one holding onto that blaster. There was another clone right next to him, and Cody was a bit more in the back. So, like, that means two or possibly even one clone managed to stop Grievous as he was running. Now, I want you to keep in mind, when Grievous is stopped by that grapple, he full stops. He does not drag the clones forward an inch. He just stops dead in his tracks. This is the same General Grievous, by the way, that can do this. This is the same General Grievous, by the way, that can do this. And we straight up see that after the grapple has already attached to Grievous, Cody comes in afterwards and helps the 2 other clones pull him, which then pulls Grievous off his balance and drags him back multiple feet. And we see him actively resisting as they do this, by the way. Now, if you want to try and argue this, I think that's absurd, but if you want to try and argue this, you could probably say, oh, well, Grievous was caught off guard. He didn't have enough time to react. Grievous is stopped in his tracks, pulled back, and then dogpiled. And all of this lasts 10 seconds. 10 full seconds. You are trying to tell me right now with a straight face that General freaking Grievous, the guy that was built and designed to combat and keep up with Jedi, not just Padawans, not just Knights, but Jedi Masters. Because you know what General Grievous is built for? He was built to overwhelm the Jedi. He was basically built to outspeed the Jedi. He's supposed to move so fast and so aggressively that the Jedi cannot stay in tune with the Force. Therefore, they can't throw him off balance and they can't keep up with him. So, basically, you are telling me that General freaking Grievous was just off balance and like didn't know what was going on for 10 full seconds when he can combat Jedi that can move like, you know, light speeds and fight Magna Guards that can react light speeds, and it's really? Really? Are we serious? Even if you want to say, actually, no, nobody moves light speed in any verse ever, which I mean, okay, whatever. Even if you want to say, no, nobody in Star Wars moves at light speed, any speed faster than 10 seconds, Jedi move fast. We know this, whether it's light speed or not. Jedi move pretty damn fast. Plus, they can see things before they even happen. General Grievous has to combat people that can not only move very fast, but see things before they happen. And you are telling me that he would take all of 10 seconds to regain his footing, his bearings? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This also isn't the only time that Grievous has been restrained and pulled back by clones. I mean, you know, this one's a bit less impressive than the first one, but like, either way, I mean, come on. You've also got these comic panels right here. You know, this is a normal clone pilot. He's doing all this, performing all these physical feats, and I mean, come on, man. Like, you cannot tell me clones are just normal-ass dudes. You cannot tell me clones are like, well, they're athlete level, maybe. No, they're not. Remember, these clones are, you know, clones of Jango Fett, the guy who killed Jedi with his bare hands, the guy who sent Obi-Wan Kenobi flying with, like, a headbutt. Headbutts don't normally do that. Overall, point is, clones are not normal dudes. But anyway, back to the actual matchup, back to the verdict. Am I saying all of this to say that the clone commandos would be able to, like, physically kick the ass of the upgraded Predator? No. I don't think that they could do that. Upgraded Predator is still, like, physically stronger than all 4 of them. But what I do think would happen is I think that they would move too fast for him to, like, actually react to. And with that speed on top of their weapons, I think eventually they would whittle down his exoskeleton and just leave him vulnerable enough to kill him. I would say that Delta Squad wins, I don't know, maybe 7 times out of 10. Like, I'm sorry, I know Upgrade is really physically strong, and I know he's very durable, but again, I don't think he's going to be able to keep up with Delta Squad speed-wise. And if they're faster than him, all they have to do is keep their distance and run circles around him, and just keep on laying mags into him until he's dead. They have heavy explosives, they have blasters, which we've already established can be very powerful weapons. The plasma caster is definitely going to be a problem. Now, like, again, this is all dependent on whether or not they actually get hit by it, but the plasma caster, if any clone commandos do get hit by it, I think that would absolutely be able to, you know, breach their armor, breach their shields, whatever. Like, I could see one shot killing them, to be honest. I could see that. I'm pretty sure it would happen, as long as it's charged high enough, but I could see, depending on the power level of the shot that is fired, I could see one shot killing them. Now, how long do I think it would take for Delta Squad to whittle down the exoskeleton of the upgraded Predator? Well, I mean, blasters, again, have performed very impressive feats of power. I mean, like, the Plasma Caster has blown through starship holes, and so has the E-11. Now, of course, I do understand and realize that a blaster isn't gonna like send upgrade flying the same way the Plasma Caster would, but it's probably still gonna hurt after a little while, getting bombarded with them. Not to mention, you know, grenade launchers and other explosives that the commandos would have at their disposal. All of this is basically to say, I don't see it happening very often. I don't see upgrade winning all too often. Delta Squad would be too fast, and they would absolutely have the right firepower for the job. But what do you think? Do you agree? Disagree? What do you think about the whole Superhuman clones thing? I think it's like, you can't, look, if you want to argue with Superhuman clones, I don't think you really can, okay? Because I think there's already a very solid case made here that clones are not just normal-ass dudes. But at the very least, if you can't possibly accept Superhuman, you at least need to accept the fact that clones are not normal dudes. They are like Helldiver level. At the very least, they are like Helldiver equivalent. I mean, you simply cannot say that clones are just normal-ass dudes. You just cannot say that. But I don't know. Go ahead and say it in the comments. I'd argue with each other and maybe with me if I feel like engaging in anything. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.